Hello everyone, it's Hunter and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, it is so nice to meet you. In today's video, we are going to be going through my physical TBR to be read. So these are all the books that are like priority of my physical books. So we're just gonna be going through them. I'm gonna share them with you, when I got them, how much they cost, any kind of fun information about that. If you guys don't know, I absolutely love to read. I read 164 books in 2021. My goal for this year is 120. I know obviously I can read more than 150, but I didn't want to set my goal too high in case something happens this year that's just gonna make it impossible for me to read. So I wanted to have a doable goal. So I thought I would just share with you guys the books that are like my priority on this list. I have so many physical books and I like don't even know how I'm gonna read them all. Basically, I read 90% of books on my Kindle because I'm just gonna be really honest with you. Kindle has stats. So let me pull up the Kindle app real quick. On the Kindle app, you can pull up your reading statistics. And because of that, I am a slave to it. So let's go to Reading Insights. So it shows you the titles that you've read and then it shows you your streaks. So here's mine. I'm at 368 days right now. And if I don't read on my Kindle, then it's gonna ruin my streak. So I kind of have like put a priority on reading on my Kindle. I think I'm gonna try to just like slowly read one book on my Kindle just so that I can keep my streak up and then work on these books because I know I'm getting a box of books in the mail soon. And so that's just gonna add to the pile. So I thought I would go ahead and just share with you guys the books that I'm hoping to read soon. And hopefully these will make it into my monthly reading goals videos. Not goals, just my monthly book wrap-ups. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling now. So I just am gonna go ahead and get on with it. These are the books. Let's go. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe to my channel down below if you have not already, and be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you like book content, and let's go ahead and get started. These books are in no order, I just kind of have them stacked. So first we'll start with this one. It is Genuine Fraud by Lockhart. This is a young adult novel and I got this at a local bookstore. This is the same author as We Were Liars, so if you guys have read that, same author. I read We Were Liars and I really liked it, so I'm really excited about reading this one. I haven't heard much about this one. It is a shorter book, so hopefully that means I'll get through it really quickly. But it says Imogen lives at the Playa Grande Resort in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico. She spends her days working out of the hotel gym and telling other guests about how she was forced out of Stanford. But Imogen isn't really Imogen, she's Jewel, and she's on the run from something or someone, which means where is the real Imogen? Rewind, Jewel and Imogen are the closest of friends, obsessed with each other even. Imogen is an orphan and heiress. She and Jewel spend the summer together in a house on Martha's Vineyard, sharing secrets they'd never revealed to another soul, but that was months ago. Where is Emmy now, and why is Jewel using her name? So I thought this looked really interesting. Like I said, bought this at a local bookstore. It was $10.99. I got this actually on my birthday in August, and it's now January, and I haven't touched it yet. So that's because I've been obsessed with my Kindle books. So definitely need to get this one. The first three books I'm showing you actually are ones that I bought on my birthday at a local bookstore. So this one is called We Wish You Luck, and this one literally looks so cool. I think the cover just looks really awesome. It was $17. And it says, I'm gonna read this little blurb here. It says, a juicy novel about a group of students who take revenge on a wonderkind professor after she destroys one of their own. A story of collective drive to create, sabotage, and ultimately to love. So I thought this looked really cool. So it's standard length. I think I'll get through this one quickly once I start it. It's just a matter of actually starting it. So I don't think I've seen this at a ton of stores before. This is by Caroline Zanken. So that looks really interesting. And next is this one, and it is by Megan Miranda. I read a couple of her books before. This one I think is young adult. So I've never actually seen her write any young adult thrillers before, so I'm excited to read this. It's called Come Find Me. And it says, 6 months ago, Kennedy Jones suffered a horrible family tragedy, and since then she's lived with her uncle, sneaking out only occasionally to visit her childhood home. Nearby, Nolan Chandler is determined to find out what really happened to his brother, who disappeared without a trace 2 years earlier. Then Kennedy and Nolan find themselves drawn together by strange signs. For Kennedy, it's a disturbing pattern on her brother's radio telescope. For Nolan, it's a mysterious frequency coming from his brother's bedroom. When they realize their brothers also share a dark past, they begin to wonder whether something is coming for them, or are the signals a warning that something's already there. So, no idea what this is, how this is gonna go, but definitely interested in getting this one read. Next is one that I thrifted. I think I paid 99 cents for it because the paperbacks at Goodwill are 99 cents, but this is Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris, and this one is a psychological thriller, like domestic psychological thriller, so I'm excited. It says, everyone knows a couple like Jack and Grace. He has the looks and wealth, she has charm and elegance. He's a dedicated attorney who never has lost a case. She is a flawless homemaker, a masterful gardener and cook, and dotes on her disabled younger sister. Though they are still newlyweds, they seem to have it all. You might not want to like them, but you you do. You're hopelessly charmed by the ease and comfort of their home, by the graciousness of the dinner parties they throw. You'd like to get to know Grace better, and it's difficult because you realize Jack and Grace are inseparable. Some might call this true love. Others might wonder why Grace never answers the phone, or why she can never meet for coffee, or even though she doesn't work. How can she cook such elaborate meals but also remain so slim? Or why she never seems to take anything with her when she leaves the house, not even a pen. Or why there are such high security metal shutters on all the downstairs windows. Some might wonder what's really going on once the dinner party is over and the front door is closed. So this one looks so exciting. This is right up my alley, so I'm super excited to read this one. This one is actually one that I'm reading right now, so I'm actually reading a physical book right now, this is about how far I am in it, but I'm putting it on the TBR just because it's a physical book that's being read right now. But it is What You Wish For by Catherine Center, and I can give you the gist of it. Basically, the school principal dies at this really creative and high-ranking elementary school on Galveston Island in Texas. And they bring in a new principal, and the librarian knows him, has a past with him, and they're like discovering dark truths about each other. I don't know, it's kind of a romance, but also I would consider it a contemporary fiction. My husband got this for me for Christmas. It's from Target, so it was 20% off the cover price, which was $16.99, so I'm thinking it was like 13 something, but I think this is really good so far. This is probably my favorite book that Mason has ever bought me, so I'm a big fan of this one. Next, I have 2 Colleen Hoover books, and I bought these full price recently, actually, not too long ago. Basically, I want to have a whole collection of, I want to have the entire collection of Colleen Hoover books, and I actually pre-ordered reminders of him, so whenever it gets here, I will have it. I'm filming this video before the book comes out, actually, so I don't have it yet, but I think this video is going to go live after it comes in the mail, so just keep that in mind. So anyway, I decided I wanted to have an entire collection of Colleen Hoover books. I have read all of the books that are available on Kindle Unlimited or that are available through my library. So I decided that at some point I'm gonna buy the ones that I've already read, but while I have read a lot of them, I wanted to collect the books that I haven't read as physical copies first, if that makes sense, because I haven't read them yet. So this one is Maybe Someday. It says at 22 years old, Sydney is enjoying a great life. She's in college, working a steady job, in love with her wonderful boyfriend, Hunter, don't we love, and rooming with her best friend, Tori, but everything changes when she discovers that Hunter is cheating on her, and she's forced to decide what her next move should be. Soon, Sydney finds herself captivated by her mysterious and attractive neighbor Ridge. She can't take her eyes off him or stop listening to the passionate ways he plays his guitar every evening out on his balcony. And there's something about Sydney that Ridge can't ignore either. They find themselves needing each other in more ways than one. So that looks super interesting. I mean, it's Colleen Hoover. It's not gonna be a bad book. I love all of hers. So excited about that. And the second one I got is All Your Perfects. I can't talk today. So it says, then the last thing Quinn expected was to meet the love of her life just outside her fiance's front door. A year after having, I can't read today. A year after leaving behind their cheating partners, Quinn and Graham are in a perfect relationship that seems destined by fate. 7 years later, their perfect love is threatened by their imperfect marriage. The memories, mistakes, and dreams that they have built up over the years are tearing them apart. The one thing that could save them might also be the very thing that pushes their marriage past the point of no return. So obviously I'm very excited to read this one as well. And these last 4 books, I have a story about them. I got them on Halloween. Oh, I forgot to tell you how much these books were. Honestly, I don't know how much they were. I bought them on Amazon. So whatever they are on Amazon right now. These next 4 books are ones that I got from a Free Little Library. If you're not familiar, Free Little Library is basically like this wooden thing that looks like a house. You open it up and it has books inside of it, and you take what you need, or you take books, you can put books in. It's kind of there as a resource for communities to read books. It's also supposed to be like an incentive to get people to read more. So I found one in my friend's neighborhood, so I decided to pick out some books, and when I'm finished with them, I'm gonna put them back just because I have no reason to keep them after I've read them, especially because I'm basically borrowing them but for a much longer period of time. So I really need to prioritize these, but I just really want to read those. But long story short, these I did not pay for, and I'm not going to keep them because I'm just borrowing them for now. So these were all books. There were so many books in there I wanted to grab, but these are ones that I was only gonna grab books that I have heard of, that are on my just general TBR, and also ones that have authors I've heard of. So the first one I got from there is The Last Flight by Julie Clark. This one was on my TBR. This is from Target. It says, you might know a husband like Claire's, ambitious, admired, and with deep pockets. But behind closed doors, he has a temper that burns as as bright as his promising political career, and he's not above using his staff to track Claire's every move. What he doesn't know is that Claire has worked for months on a plan to vanish. A chance meeting in an airport brings her together with a woman who seems equally desperate to flee her life. Together they make a last-minute decision to switch tickets, Claire taking Ava's to Oakland and Ava traveling to Puerto Rico as Claire. But when the Puerto Rico plane crashes, Claire's options narrow to one impossible choice: assume Ava's identity, and along with it, the secrets Ava fought so hard to keep hidden. So I think this looks super interesting. Obviously, that's why I picked it up. I keep saying interesting, but that's really the only word I can use to describe it. Next is I Don't Forgive You by Andrew Blum Thompson. It says, an accomplished photographer and the devoted mom of an adorable little boy, Allie Ross just moved to an upscale DC suburb, the kind of place where parenting feels like a competitive sport. Allie's desperate to make a good first impression, then she's framed for murder. As the killer closes in, Allie must reach back into a past she vowed to forget in order to learn the shocking truth of who is destroying her life. Super excited about this one. Next is A One by One by Ruth Ware, and I have read several books by her before, so I'm excited to read this one. I've read The Woman in Cabin 10 and The Lion Game before. So it says, getting snowed in at the luxurious rustic ski chalet in the French Alps doesn't sound like the worst problem in the world, especially when there's a breathtaking vista, a full-service chef and housekeeper, cozy fire to keep you warm, and others to keep you company, unless that company happens to be 8 coworkers, each with something to gain, something to lose, and something to hide. Very excited. And the last one is an author I've never read anything by before. It is A Summer Affair by Elin Hilderbrand, and I am super excited about reading this one. This one's a lot longer. It's like almost 400 pages, but it's a little bit longer than my usual book. But it says, Claire has a problem with setting limits. All her life, she has taken on every responsibility, assumed every burden, and granted every request. Claire wants it all, and in the eyes of her friends, she has it. A devoted husband, 4 beautiful children, even a successful career as an artist. So when she agrees to chair the committee for Nantucket's social event of the year, she knows she can handle it. Claire can handle anything, but when planning the gala propels her into the orbit of billionaire Locke Dixon, unexpected sparks begin to fly. Locke insists on working closely with Claire over a bottle of wine, and before long, she can't ignore the subtle touches and lingering looks. To her surprise, she can't ignore how they make her feel. Claire finds the gala of her life and herself spinning out of control. A Summer Affair captures the love, loss, and limbo of illicit romance and unchecked passion as it takes us on a brave and breathless journey into the heart of one modern woman. So I think this one looks really good. Contemporary romance? Fiction? I don't know. Looks good. So I'm excited about it. And those are all of the books that are on my priority list of physical books to read. Like I said, I have a ton more that I need to get through, and I also have pre-ordered a couple of books that are coming out this year. So I have 4 right here that I want to add to this, but I need to get through these before I can go to those. And then I have a closet full of books that I haven't read. So I really need to get through my physical books this year, and that's kind of why I'm sharing this with you. Hopefully it will keep me accountable in reading them. But with that being said, that is all I have for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below. If you guys want to know when and if I read these books and what I think about them, then be sure to stay tuned for my monthly book wrap-ups. I post those at the end of the beginning of every single month, telling you guys what I read the month before and kind of giving you a very small review of it. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!